Hey folks, the Landstryder here, and welcome back to another episode on the Colonial Engineers 2 server. We are up here at the Bufflon frontier, my Minecolonies village that is set up as an outpost at the edge of a, I forget what the biome is actually called. Let's open up our thing here real quick. It is a snowy tundra here, but this is not the correct biome. We're actually looking for a biome that's just beside it. Maybe it is snowy tundra. But yeah, this is the area where... Sorry, let me get rid of those. Yeah, this is the area where Bufflons spawn. Let me see if I can find one real quick. Yeah, right there's one over there. Actually, that's one that I've tamed. And it already has a saddle on it. It has the secondary player saddle. It doesn't have the primary saddle. It's probably why it's still sitting there. I need to throw a saddle on it. It looks like that Bufflon wandered over into the jungle. They don't really spawn over there. But this snowy area right here is where they spawn. So if you are on the server and you would like to come up and try your hand at taming a Bufflon, of course you'll need some special materials that you have to gather 3 different types of flowers from 3 different biomes, combine them into herb bundles, and then that will let you attempt to tame them. Now they are hostile, they will try to kill you while you're trying to tame them, so just keep that in mind. They're not the easiest thing to get your hands on as far as mount goes, but well worth it in my opinion. Well worth it. They're kind of fun, and they look really cool and they ride really neat. Ooh, and we're falling down. But anyway, this is the entrance down into our dwarven city down below. Now you may have seen up above we actually have the. This is just the back entrance that I had. I don't know. It might seal this up eventually. I don't know, but it actually is convenient for me anyway, and it doesn't seem to be causing any issues with the city or raids or anything like that. If the raiders do come, they can file down through there one at a time, and my guards should be able to handle them no problem, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But this up here is the tier 4 or highest upgraded level of town hall for Spruce Medieval, and I really do like it. It has a lot of details. I wish I could say that I had anything to do with the design of this building, but that's one of the nice things about Minecolonies is you can have pretty things and you don't have to know how to build it all. It does have a fully upgraded enchantment setup in it after you get it up to tier 5. There's a whole upstairs area somewhere. Yeah, upstairs area with some beds and things like that, so you can sit your spawn and sleep. I do believe it even continues up higher, and there's like a nicer bedroom up here. Or you can at least get out. You can get out on the towers. It's kind of not the greatest view because of the thing, but yeah, you can see that it's got a lot of detail. It's got a lot of detail. It's pretty neat. I like it. I like it a lot. But this is just what's on the surface. And that will be the only structure on the surface. I might clean up the surface a little bit. You can actually see some of the tops of the buildings from down below. That's kind of funny. I just now noticed that. I'm thinking of filling in these holes, leveling some stuff out. I had to do some terraforming over here as well in order to cover up some stuff. But it's looking pretty good, I think. Let's head down and I'll show you what we got going on down in the actual city part. Ooh, there's a nice big rubber band flag spike. See what's got going on here. So this was the original entrance to the dungeon that we built on top of, and I incorporated that directly into the tower of the build up there. So yeah, I did a little bit of modification after it was all the way fully built, just to tie it in together. But then that brings us down into our dwarven city, and we've got our warehouse right here, and I want to talk about that briefly here in a second, but let's just give you the tour. Our builder is over here, and he is asking for some material. I've got him up to the point, I've got the city up to the point where I'm almost done with it. The builder's level 5, the warehouse is level 5. This citizen hut is level 5. This citizen hut I think is the one he's actually in the middle of upgrading and probably what he's asking for materials for, but that one's almost 5. Then we got a restaurant right here to to make sure that we can keep everybody fed and happy. Looks like, yeah, we got some food. She'll eat when she needs to, and then she will distribute the food to the other city dwellers. Really don't have too many city dwellers. There's one more citizen hut right here, and I think I'm gonna stop there because it seems like I really don't need the citizen huts, because apparently, and this is the barracks, and you can see it kind of just a little circle that goes around here, and that's pretty much it. That's the end of the city. I'm not going to develop it any more than this. It's meant to be an outpost where I have a bunch of guards that will, be able to stop any raids or keep the area safe on the outside. Now, I really don't have to do too much for that. I could just throw down a mega torch and call it a day. But I'm still going to have raids up here, and I think it just adds to the whole, I don't know, it adds a lot to the character of it to have guards, hanging around, patrolling, and, keeping the area safe. So, I've gone through the dungeon and cleared out the majority of everything. We also have the place where the train actually cuts right through the dungeon here, and I did some things to kind of try to disguise that and kind of clean it up, and make the connection between the train, the subway rails that run through here. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that particular spot right there, but eventually that direction I'm thinking of having it go down and tie into Nock's transcontinental train track. So yeah, Nock's been putting in a transcontinental of this high-speed rail that goes all the way from the northern border of the server to the southern border, and then he's also got one that goes from the east border to the west border, back and forth. So a lot of material went into that, and I figured if I would just take and tie that one into one of his, this one here actually goes to the end city. This is my end city express route. Or not end city, I'm sorry, end fortress. The end fortress express. So if I jump in that and I hit, there's a button. So we can just go ahead and do that. It's kind of cool. If I jump in here, I hit that button. It will dispense a cart for the next person, if there was somebody else there and they needed to follow right behind me, or it'll just be there for when I want to use it the next time. But you can see this stuff really makes you go fast. It's pretty cool, and we're going to talk about this a little bit today, I think. Might as well throw it into this episode. But this rail by Useful Railroads allows you to travel at, I believe it's 72 blocks per second, which also happens to be exactly what you would be able to travel in a boat on blue ice. So, it basically makes a railroad that allows you to travel at a speed that, yeah, I'm not really sure what to say about that. But let's push it back off, and I don't really have a good station here. You can see there's the end portal. Now we're gonna head back. So yeah, 72 blocks per second, which is the same as blue ice with a boat. So, making the railroads as useful as boats again, or making boats not as useful. I'm not sure what the point was, but I definitely like the moving on the rails better than trying to steer a boat and lay down all the blue ice and stuff that would be required to make that type of travel system functional. I do like this. It fits very well with the theme of the server, and we've already got these subway tunnels that basically run through the entire world. So we might as well utilize them, and it's cool. And then yeah, when you come back, it brings you up. This activator rail will eject you off right here. That's why I have a slab there. Otherwise, it would put you in that square. And then it goes back up here, hits the cactus, goes in the hopper, and goes back to be loaded again for the next time. So yeah, that's my little train station there. I'm gonna work on maybe making it a little bit better. I did try to have something in there that would detect right when the player got into the cart and send you off. Works in Bedrock, but the design I was trying to copy that I had made would not work in Java because of hitboxes are slightly different on string. It was interesting to learn. So anyway, today, the main thing I want to just take care of is training up my guards. So you can see I've got some guards just kind of standing around. There's a spawner right there. There's a little bit of a hallway thing that I made here to let the zombies that spawn over that way kind of get close, but not all the way, not close enough that they can do much damage. And then these guys can kill them, you know, without too much trouble, and that gives them levels. Now they need levels for a couple different reasons. They need levels so that they can increase their maximum health. And why have so little health compared to your other friends there? I'm not sure. But then the other thing that they do here, they level up, and they need to level up in order to be able to use better equipment. So when you first get your guards, they can only wear like leather or chain until they get a few levels, and that also is dependent on their tower level. So we've all got tower level 5s in here. These are all level 5 towers, so I can get up to 20 guards in this barracks. I've only got 3 currently. 3? Yeah. Only got 3 currently. And they apparently do not take up bed space in the citizen huts because they're housed in their guard towers. Now there's a bug. I do believe it's a bug right now with the guards. No matter what, they always have a negative house modifier. I assume that's because they don't get to live in a house and they have to live in the barracks, which will negatively affect your happiness of your village. So Minecolonies still has a lot of little bugs and quirks that need to be wrinkled out or worked out, ironed out. That's the word. Those wrinkles need to be ironed out. That's what I'm trying to say. But the main thing with this right here is I want to turn this little hallway into a little spawning area that lets these zombies spawn, and then that lets the guards kill them for their experience and training. They can get leveled up. The zombies, of course, from these spawners drop a lot of equipment, which will give them some junk equipment to equip, to put on and use. As I get more guards, they can, you know, use all this stuff. But I wanna improve this little area right here. So I've got one zombie spawner right there. I kind of want to move that one a little bit. I got another one right here. I want to move that, and I think there's one down through this hallway somewhere. I might come over here and get through there. Yeah, you can see that one right there. I want to move it into this little hallway. So I want to kind of keep the style here for the most part. Here, let's get rid of some of this. Yeah. So we got the train track cutting through right here. And let's get rid of that guy. The train track cutting through right here. So our wall is going to end up being right here. I'm going to put that wall back, but we want to get this spawner right to there, and we want to move that spawner right to there, I believe. Yeah, I think that's where we want it. Sorry, buddy, you gotta go. But we can grab a couple bricks so we can fill back in holes. So to move that one is going to be pretty simple. We could light this up temporarily just so we don't have number of spawns that we have to, all the spawns we have to deal with while we're doing this. So let's just throw a couple torches down in here in the hallway here. That'll just stop that. And then we want to grab out some pistons. So let's grab our redstone bag. Grab just a regular piston out of here for the time being. We've already got some brick blocks, that'll work. And we can put our piston there. And we will grab a button. Any old button will work, but we'll use the last button, sure. There we go. So you can see that pushes the spawner in this pack. So that's not a normal feature, that's actually added by Quark. And that's going to allow us to move spawners. Now I don't have to go very far with this one. It's just gonna go like, do I actually want it? One more. Oh, I guess it helps if I put a block there first. There we go. One more so that it is there on the cage. Remove that block. As you can see, again, kind of hard sometimes for me to control what I'm breaking with this pickaxe because it's just so overpowered. But there we go. That'll do. Now this one, I'm gonna go ahead and it's gonna need to move over a little bit because it's gonna come. I've got this one right here too. This is the fourth one that I was talking about. I'm gonna be careful not to break the spawner. That's really easy to do for me. So these guys are actually gonna need to be moved a little bit so that they line up. So let's grab some sticky pistons to pull this one out a little. Oops, not what I meant to do. But there we go, we got this nice little hallway with 4 spawners, and we want to make it extra dark back in the hallway. That way, look, we got all these zombies that'll spawn. And then now, if our guard, where'd our guards go? They must have decided, there they come back. They're trying to make paths over to there, but now that they've got all that to deal with, they can train up. They can get levels, and they can get their own equipment. I can get a bunch more guards. I'm going to try to come up with a little bit better system here for them to be able to, for the zombies to get close and for the guards to just sit here and kill them and stuff. But as one guard, you know, each time they kill one of these, all the guards that were involved or that are nearby will get a little bit of experience. Now, as they get experience, they gain levels. And you see this guy is level 26. He could totally wear pretty much any armor now that is in the game. Now, until their level, I believe it's level 15, they can't wear the diamond armor, and there's some other transition points in there, but that, you know, that's the key one there. You want to get them in, you know, the top tier armor, so I believe they got to be above level 15 to use the top tier gear. And if those numbers are not correct or change in the future, you know, somebody leave a message down below to let me know about it, and I'll try to include a note or something in the future. But anyway, there we go. We now have a training hall for our guards, which is going to let them guys level up so that they can use top tier equipment, and then I can go and make crimson armor and tools, weapons, I should say, crimson armor and weapons for them guys to use instead of just using this. Well, basically what they're using right now is all the dungeon drops from this dungeon. They've got various pieces of gear that either came off of the zombies or came out of the treasure chests of the dungeon that we're in right now. I've gone through and looted the majority of it, and that's the other thing I wanted to talk about today, how awesome the warehouse is. Not by itself so much. I mean, it is pretty dang awesome to have, a warehouse of stuff. Each one of these things is a double chest. But what I have done is I've connected a storage network master using just a link cable directly to the warehouse block. Now that's the entire system right there. And then what that does is it allows me to use a storage remote bound to that storage master to open up and see everything that is in the entirety of the warehouse. So I can see everything that is currently in the warehouse. And I can search that, you can see quite a lot of stuff. So what I did is while I was going down through the dungeon, I was able to just open my storage remote, throw everything in, and then continue looting. So this is basically a repository of stuff that I have access to remotely as long as this warehouse is loaded. So that means if I go far away from this village without some kind of loading system, and we have not talked about that yet, but I think that's something that probably needs its own little special, mini video, I guess, or video short. It needs its own little video short. That's what I'm trying. Talking about how to make a chunk loader with vanilla mechanics, because that's basically the best way to do it right now. There are a couple mods out there, but I don't think they're all that worth it, and because they just mimic a slash command that you could do if you have op. And if you don't have op, well, maybe you shouldn't be loading if you don't have permission. But yeah, anyway, we'll talk about that. But the warehouse is super awesome, and I wanted to show you. Okay, yeah, this right here. If I click that, it shows that I have 2,434 slots of space between all of these racks. Now these racks continue on up to a second floor, so all of these are part of my storage, which gives me basically just this huge backpack, kind of, but that allows me to store stuff remotely. Now I also have one of these for our main base that allows me to send items back directly to the drawer system over there. So plenty of ways to send materials back to our base from a remote location. The next thing I want to do with this is I haven't done it yet, I wanted to upgrade it and see just how many more slots it would give it. And I have a block of emerald in here just for such purposes. Let's go ahead and do that. If we look again, we got 2,435 spaces. We're going to flip over to the second thing. We're going to say, give it a block of emerald. Now that should have, if we open these now, it's a bigger space. If I click that now, 2,435. So that didn't change anything, did it? According to that. Took my emerald, and I definitely see more spaces in here. So perhaps this does not get access to the extra spaces? I don't know. Not sure how that's going to work. Hopefully that doesn't mess things up. But we'll see. I'll have to give you a report on that in a future episode. But that is the Dwarven City. I mean, that's all there is to this outpost. This outpost is open to the public. You can MC colony teleport 5. This is colony number 5. There is also a matter receiver here, so if you have a matter, or if you have a teleporter and you can set it to this one, it's the Bufflon Frontier. It should show up in a list if you have a dialer. And if you actually make it up here and you'd like to return, and you have a return home pendant, I don't have mine out right now. There it is, my return home pendant. Now mine's actually bound to our main base, but right here is a teleporter that you could set a return home pendant to. And this is actually bound to our main base. If you happen to make it to here, which is pretty close to spawn, if you happen to make it to here, I think you can probably climb right down in here, even if you don't have, even if you're not a citizen or whatever, don't have access to everything, I think you can still come down in here and right click on this. So that is another way to get to the Bufflon Frontier. So let's head back, do our outro. Oh. Load for a second. Load back up. There we go. And yeah, pretty cool area. I really like this area of the world, with the jungle bordering snow, bordering forest. Yeah, it's a pretty nice area. There's a couple of villages not too far around. If we look at the map, there's actually a snow village up this way. There's the snow village up that way. There's a jungle village straight out across. There's a volcano not too far away. There's some city there. There's also a city right up there. And there is another dungeon that I have not even touched. Somewhere up in here, I can't see it now because it's probably gotten covered with snow. There's like a circle. Yeah, there it is, right there. Oh, it's really hard to see. But right there is another dungeon to the north. These black spots are actually oil fields that I need to suck up. I had an oil field like right out here that I got rid of. I need to fill this hole back in. But we need to go around and collect all the oil, and I've been using the builder to do that, so that'll make it pretty quick. So hopefully by the time anybody comes up here, all that oil will be gotten rid of. Unless you're looking for oil, let me know. I will leave some for you. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed that. That was going to be a short one today, just talking about Bufflon Frontier and guard training. Till next time. Oh yeah, we did kind of like talk a little bit more about pushing spawners. Yeah, when it comes to pushing spawners, all you got to do is, use your standard piston mechanics and flying machine mechanics, and you get them around wherever you want in this pack. But anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this. Be sure to hit that like button, ring the bell if you want to know when there's new one comes out, and thank you so much for all you guys' support. Keep the comments coming. Love it, love it. But till next time, I will catch you later.